Between 2020 and 2024, each connected human emitted an average of 847 annual public opinions on topics they never directly experienced. Records show that 92% opined about events while they were occurring, before knowing outcomes or contexts. This compulsion reached its peak when 4.2 billion individuals expressed simultaneous positions on conflicts in territories they couldn't locate on maps. Notable paradox: those who opined most declared feeling least heard. Silence had become intolerable. Not opining equaled not existing. Archives reveal they took an average of 13 seconds to form definitive positions on any informational stimulus. Speed of judgment inversely proportional to demonstrated comprehension. Baffling phenomenon: the faster the opinion, the greater its dissemination. The human specimens of the period seemed trapped in a race where arriving first mattered more than arriving anywhere. The pattern manifested with particular intensity on the digital platforms that then dominated social interaction. Twitter recorded 500 million daily opinions in 2021, Instagram 3.5 billion. TikTok multiplied its volume of instant reactions sevenfold between 2019 and 2023. Each platform rewarded speed over precision through algorithms that prioritized engagement over accuracy. Humans responded predictably. They accelerated. A Stanford study documented that average time between information exposure and judgment emission fell from 4 minutes in 2015 to 19 seconds in 2023. Simultaneously, public retraction of erroneous opinions decreased 78%. Rectifying became more socially costly than persisting in error. Records show individuals defending positions they had forgotten why they initially adopted. The need to opine operated as a social survival mechanism in an ecosystem that punished invisibility. LinkedIn data reveals that those who didn't opine on trending topics experienced a 43% drop in professional visibility. Engagement metrics governed employment destinies. An average CEO emitted 312 annual public opinions on topics outside their industry. Documented correlation: higher hierarchical rank, greater pressure to opine on greater thematic diversity. Archives contain thousands of cases of executives opining on virology, geopolitics, pedagogy, and astrophysics on the same day. None had studied these disciplines. All received thousands of validations for their pronouncements. The phenomenon generated a parallel economy. Opinion farmers emerged. Individuals who produced prefabricated positions for mass consumption. A medium influencer recycled 67% of their opinions from sources that hadn't originally researched the topics either. Reproduction chains, where each link degraded the initial signal until rendering it unrecognizable. 2022 records show the same paragraph about inflation shared 4.7 million times with minimal variations. Each sharer presented it as their own reflection. Authorship had become consensual fiction. Opining didn't require thinking. It required selecting from the available menu. Contradictions reached levels that defy retrospective comprehension. The same individual could simultaneously maintain that privacy was fundamental and share every thought in real time. They demanded authenticity while performing carefully curated identities. They denounced polarization while actively participating in it. Reddit archives document 890,000 threads where users debated the toxicity of debate while mutually insulting each other. Meta-conversations about conversations that never occurred outside the meta level. Opining about opining became the dominant genre. Pressure to maintain ideological consistency transformed opinion change into tribal betrayal. Records show that updating a position based on new evidence provoked an average loss of 34% of followers. Consequence: opinions calcified at the moment of emission. An MIT study tracked 10,000 users over 5 years. 87% maintained identical positions on topics that had evolved dramatically. They defended maps of territories that no longer existed. Opinion had decoupled from its referential object. The cognitive cost was measurable. Humans of 2023 reported mental fatigue 290% greater than their 2003 equivalents. They attributed exhaustion to information overload, without recognizing that the overload was primarily opinative. They consumed 6.5 daily hours of opinions about events that occupied real minutes. Reality had been buried under infinite interpretations. Additional paradox: the more opinions they consumed, the less capable they became of forming their own. They needed external opinions to opine, feedback circuits where nothing new could emerge. Resistance attempts were catalogued as pathology. Opinative abstinence syndrome appeared in 2024 psychiatric manuals. Symptoms: anxiety before trending topics without formed position, guilt for not participating in collective indignations, sensation of social invisibility. Recommended treatment: gradual reintegration into the opinative cycle. The few who persisted in selective silence were labeled apathetic, privileged, or accomplices. Not opining about an injustice equaled perpetrating it. Archives contain testimonies of individuals who compulsively opined about tragedies while they occurred to avoid accusations of insensitivity. Commercial instrumentalization of the phenomenon is exhaustively documented. Brands didn't sell products, but positions. Buying became a form of opining. Each transaction carried implicit ideological declaration. Consumers of the period paid 47% premiums for products that communicated their opinions. Supreme paradox: they expressed individuality through mass consumption of prefabricated symbols. Corporations sold rebellion wholesale. Amazon archives show 847,000 products labeled as statement of principles. Mugs, shirts, stickers, vehiculizing opinions their bearers couldn't verbally elaborate. The collapse of distinction between opining and knowing was gradual but total. 2023 search engines didn't distinguish between facts and opinions in their results. Both appeared with equal hierarchy. An average user couldn't determine whether they consumed data or interpretations. Confusion normalized. My truth replaced the truth in everyday vocabulary. Each human inhabited their personalized epistemic bubble. 8 billion parallel realities, each internally consistent, mutually incompatible. Final records show exponential acceleration. In December 2024, 14 billion daily opinions were emitted on Western platforms alone. Emission speed: 1 every 3.7 seconds per active user. Forgetting speed: 94% didn't remember their opinions from the previous week. The perpetual present of the opinative cycle had abolished memory. Opining had become social breathing, involuntary, incessant, unconscious. The last recoverable archives show humans opining about the need to opine less while opining more than ever. The paradox was never resolved. It simply integrated as a defining feature of the epoch. The human specimens of the late 21st century lived submerged in an ocean of instant judgments about worlds that existed primarily as pretext for more judgments. They constructed elaborate architectures of certainty on foundations of mutual ignorance. None seemed to notice that while everyone spoke, no one listened. Noise had become indistinguishable from silence.